Okay, so welcome back. Time for us to get into that conversation. This stays the AM Club Radio on Mx24. My name is Kojo Dasabre. Lifestyle Daily it is. Today we're taking the conversation on Treasury bills and, of course, the do's and don'ts. Yes, I do know that a lot of us out there, we've heard about it. And, we just want to, dive straight into it, the nitty-gritties about it too as well. So joining us in the conversation, we have a certified financial coach and executive director, Center for Financial Literacy Education of Africa. He's in the person of Mr. Peter Asare Nyarko. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing good.
I'm great.
I love the suit already.
Thank you.
And the watch too. It's shining. It's giving me...
The ring is also shining.
The ring is also shining. The ring there is shining to you. It's shining to your position.
For you to know.
No, me, the watch is facing me. The ring is facing you. Fantastic. So we're talking Treasury bills.
Yes.
And what exactly is Treasury bills? That'll be my first question. And a follow-up would be, how different is it from other investments? Because we have other financial investments too as well. Sure. So take us through that.
Great, thank you very much. So when we talk about Treasury bills, it's a short-term money market instrument, which is issued by the central bank on its own account or on behalf of the government. So let me use this scenario. So let's say government wants to embark on a project and government need money to do that. So he will come out to the public, ask the public to borrow him some money so he can use for that project. And that money that the citizens are giving to the government will then pay interest on that money to the citizens. So it's a short-term money market investment which is issued by the government. And this is backed by the full faith and credit of the government. And so if something happens, because it's the government who is lending from the people, he pays back that money. So basically, it's a short-term investment.
I like the way you said short-term, but for people who have done Treasury bills, I mean, even when you are going into there and you are asking people around, they're like, oh, a check akra. How short is it?
Great. So T-bills have three let me say portfolios that you can take on. So they have the 91 days, they have the 182 days, and then they have the 364 days, which is a 1 year note. So you can get your money as quick as 91 days. Yeah.
91 days, so that's like 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
No, what are some of the benefits of Treasury bill?
One, it gives you access to liquidity. So you can go in and get your money as and when you need it.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Within the 90 days or after?
So within the 90 days. It also gives you the opportunity to use that money as a collateral. So let's say if you want a loan, you can use your T-bill to go in for the loan. It also provides you, it gives you security. So with some investments, you don't have that security. But T-bill, you are secure that at the end of the maturity period, I'll get my money back. Yes. So I'll talk about the fact that it gives you that security and stability, the fact that you can use it for even a loan, and the fact that it is liquid, so you can get your money as fast as you want. Yeah.
Now,
if he didn't mention about the 3 months, no. Mimi, allow me, because it looks like I'm always about investment, and I'm always about with banks, So I don't know whether it's a thing about the banks that they would push you to probably just probe and let you have the 1 year instead of the 3 months. Minim say T-bills, 3 months. Minim that.
I didn't
say 1 year.
Yes. So mostly banks they are there to make money. And so what they will do to get the money is what. So mostly I tell people when you are going to the bank, you should know the kind of policy you are going to take on. That's why we have financial coaches, financial advisors. Engage with them, get the information. So when you are walking into the bank, I'm going to buy a T-bill. I'm going to do a fixed deposit. When you go there, they will convince you to do what
they want you to do.
Yeah.
Now, we have in this particular country, and on this continent, we talked about how interest rates goes up and down. How does it affect Treasury bills when you invest in that?
Yeah, so one of the risks associated with Treasury bill is interest rates.
Interest rate, okay.
So when the interest rate goes up, your T-bill returns decrease.
Not the profit. The whole
yes,
thing?
the returns.
The returns.
Yes, the returns on your investment.
On your
will decrease.
investment.
Yeah.
So the profit.
The profit.
So T-bill, when it goes up, let's say at the time of investing or buying your T-bill, let's say interest rate was around 25%, and now interest rate is around 29%. Your entire returns. So if you were supposed to get, let's say, 100 CDs at the end of the maturity period, because the interest rate has increased, that return will decrease.
So okay. But is there a specific percentage, or is based on what?
It's based on how the interest rate is increasing. So when you buy T-bill, there's something we call the face value or the par. So let's say if the government is giving out a T-bill at a rate of 10%, if the T-bill has a face value of, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis, you will buy it at 90 cedis now because the government is giving out 10%.
Yeah.
So at the end of the maturity period, you get the 100 Ghana cedis. But because the interest rate has increased, you will not get the 100 cedis.
So you might
the
get
face
what,
value
50?
will come down. So you might get probably 95 cedis. Yes.
So there actually is a huge risk
associated with
interest. And in these times, would you advise someone to go into it? I mean, considering the fact that we constantly wake up to an either increase
the dollar is going up or it's coming
rate
down.
or dropping rate.
Yes, so it's better to go into T-bill than not invest at all. So this morning I was looking at the inflation rate.
Yes.
It's around 25.8.
Okay.
And then the 91-day Treasury bill is around 25.6. That means the inflation rate is higher than the 91.
Okay.
But then if you leave your money in the house, you won't even get a 25.6.
You're not included in the conversation.
So it's better for you to at least get a T-bill.
But there is a huge risk that you might lose some money. So
but you won't lose.
Wouldn't you recommend in a different investment than T-bills?
Yes, so the reason why I want people to consider T-bill is the stability and the liquidity.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you want to invest in real estate, you might need a huge amount. But with T-bill, as little as 500 Ghana cedis, you can invest in T-bill.
Yes.
So it gives you that. It's not a huge investment option.
Yeah.
So it gives you to build your base.
Yeah.
So you can leverage T-bill to build your base and then use that money to invest in the
bigger
high-rate
What are some of the
investments.
other risks that are involved? Since we're already talking about risks, let's just get into it.
Sure. So we also have the inflation rate risk.
Yeah.
So this is where you can lose the value of your money. So let's say you bought 500 Ghana cedi T-bill now, and inflation rate is around 25.8. Okay. At maturity, if you go for your money and then inflation rate is around 30%, what you can do with 500 Ghana cedis now, you cannot do with that amount when inflation is 30%.
Yeah.
So there is also an inflation risk, which will reduce the value of the money. And then we also have the default risk. Okay. So some years back, we thought T-bill was a secured investment. If you buy T-bill, you don't need to worry and all that.
Go and sleep.
But now, DDEP, debt structuring program by the government has informed us that even your T-bill, government can default on your T-bill. So there's a probability that if government is not able to pay back, or if something happens and the government needs to restructure, you might lose your entire investment or a percentage of that investment. So default rate is also there. And then we have the opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is, let's say I want to purchase this phone. So if I have 500 cedis and I'm using that 500 cedis to purchase this phone, the opportunity cost is the number of items I have forgone in purchasing this phone.
Yes.
So if you use your money to buy T-bill, probably you might have used that money for something else. Yeah. So because you are using your money to purchase T-bill, you have a lot of opportunity costs. Yeah. So these are some of the risks associated with T-bill.
I was just about asking.
Your heart has been.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I mean, you, especially my mom, you hear, oh, she's going to do. I mean, though that was those times, and it worked. It worked. I mean, TB definitely worked.
Was it with that part? Was it safer to do it before than now, or the risk has always been the same?
It has been the same, but the default government having defaulted on T-bill
before until now.
Even now, he hasn't.
Yeah, not yet.
Yes.
What was the
So he defaulted on bonds.
Okay, it was bonds.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's true.
So the probability that he would default on T-bill is now high.
It's very high.
Yes, it's now high, but he hasn't.
But why is that?
So sometimes when one can be political issues, two can be economic issues. So now you know the economy is. IMF and all that. So if IMF is saying cut down on some investment, so you can sustain the economy, government can decide to use T-bill investment as the scapegoat, just to sustain the economy. So yeah, so government can default on T-bill.
Yeah, because I was just about asking how safe is your, you do some investments, your doing an investment is just about you knowing that you want to get some profit over it. And you have your capital, you get it. So your initial capital is what you feel like, oh, even if I don't get profit from there, my initial capital there, I should be able to get it, irrespective of whatever happens. But with this default thing that you're talking about right now, that means that my capital, I could lose my initial capital.
Sure. So one thing about investment is there's always risks associated with investments. But then you can mitigate that risk. You can control that risk. Okay. So the higher the reward or the higher the profit, the higher the risks. And the lower the returns, the lower the risks. Okay. So mostly I tell people you need to know your risk appetite. Okay. So if you know, if I lose 10 Ghana cedis, I'll cry the entire day, then you don't need to invest your money in high-risk investments. Okay. So that's why we have T-bill and some of the low-risk investments. Okay. But then because there are risks associated with investment, you can't also say nothing will happen to my investment. You need to have that at the back of your mind, that something can happen. I can lose a percentage of that money. Yeah. And with T-bill, it is difficult to lose your entire investment. Yeah, even if government defaults, there are ways they can. Maybe they will delay your payment, but then you get your money back.
Okay. But what about, let's say for instance your initial capital was, let's say 50,000, for instance. Yeah. And then there's a default somewhere. Is there a chance that probably you could get 40?
Sure, it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. So if they consider the factors and they realize we need to reduce the capital so we can pay everybody. Always, you need to remember, you are not the only one purchasing the T-bill. So a lot of people. So if the money available cannot settle everyone, then they can decide to reduce the capital so they can settle everyone. Yeah, so it's possible.
Okay, let's come back to the TB itself and how it works. So you are investing this sum of money into it. You are getting the profit. First of all, what I know probably the percentage would vary, but what are we looking at in terms of TB? I mean, across board.
Okay, sure. So with T-bill, we have the 91-day. So this is you purchase a T-bill and it will mature in a 3 months time. So that's 91 days. And that's mostly it's interest. It's a bit lower than, let's say, if we are purchasing a 1 year note. So for example, the 91 day as of today, it's 24.6%.
Okay.
And then the 182 day is 28.4%. And then we have the 364 days or 1 year note, which is around 28 as well. Okay. So you have to, you need to understand how quick you need your money.
Okay.
So if I want my money in a 3 months' time, I will not buy
A 1 year.
a 1 year note. So that's how T-bill works.
Okay.
You have the option to choose between 91 days, 182 days, and 364 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when you're done with probably the 3 months, or you're done with a 1 year or whatever it is, your profit, is it that? Okay, let me ask this. Okay, so you did mention that you could go and take your money anytime because of liquidation. So you're free to do so.
Sure.
Yes. So my profit comes in, or before my profit comes in, no, after my profit comes in, I'm going in for money.
Sure.
And I take my profit with my initial capital. Is that possible?
Sure, it's possible.
Okay. So, and then I hear there's a rollover.
Would you advise that?
Would you advise that?
So with that, so let's say you buy a 91-day T-bill. So you have the maturity period is 91 days.
Okay.
But then as the investment keeps going on, you can go in and say, because you need liquidity, I want to take my money back. And then with that, they will use the interest to calculate how much you have earned on that investment. And then they will give that to you.
Okay.
Secondly, you have the option to sell your T-bill. So there are two markets. We have the primary market and the secondary market.
Okay.
So the banks, most financial institutions, buy the T-bill from the government on the primary market.
Okay.
And then they give access to the citizens to purchase it from them on the secondary market.
Okay, that's business.
So you can walk into the bank and say, because I need my money, I want you to sell my T-bill for me.
Okay.
So they will sell the T-bill and give you back your money.
Your money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so someone watching us or someone who just joined us will be asking, the Treasury bills, how do I buy them? We've talked about buying and selling and buying and selling. Where do I go to buy Treasury bills?
Yes, so with Treasury bill, because you have two markets, the primary and the secondary markets, most of the banks and financial institutions serve as intermediaries for the citizens and the government. So they will go to Bank of Ghana or the central bank and buy the T-bill from them, and then they will put it on the secondary market. So as a citizen, you just have to walk into one of the banks who are licensed to sell T-bills.
These ones are government-owned or?
Yes, government, private owned.
Okay.
So because I'm not here representing a bank, I don't want to mention any bank. But yes.
So you do your research.
You do your research and go into one of the banks, buy it from them. So you are buying it from the secondary markets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go through a brokerage firm or an online platform? Is it safe to do that?
Sure. So most of the banks who are selling the T-bill are the ones referred to the brokerage firms.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then most of these banks, they have this product on their website. So let me now mention one of the banks. So I know EcoBank is doing T-bill for all. So when you go to their website, you can get access to
You
T-bill
better come and
for all.
sponsor the show with the one that they have mentioned. It's okay, you're not mentioning every bank again.
Yes. And now you can just use your mobile money to buy T-bill. I know of MTN, you can just purchase T-bill using your Momo. Yeah, so it's you can get it online, you can get it at the financial institutions.
As well.
So it's a bit easier.
It's safe to do it. If you are just joining us, we're talking Treasury bills, the do's and don'ts of that, and I hope that you are learning a thing or two. Now, how does Treasury bills impact tax liability?
Great. So, because Treasury bills are issued by the government, it is not tax deductible.
Okay.
So the returns you received on your investments are not levied, so they are not subject to any tax deduction.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if you make, let's say, 10,000 from T-bill, there's no tax applied to that. Yeah. So tax does not affect T-bill.
T-bills.
And can you use your T-bill as a collateral for a loan?
Sure. So you can use your Treasury bill for collateral to get a loan. Yeah. So this is something the banks are accepting. So it's
how big must your money be to be able to? So for instance, if my investment was like let me give a ridiculous amount of money. Let's say 1,000 Ghana cedis
Okay.
as my treasury bill, like
Yes.
as a capital. If I want 10,000 Ghana cedis, would I be able to get it?
So mostly it's the terms of the loan.
Okay.
So it will depend on the financial institution.
Yeah.
So if the collateral they are looking for, if the value is, let's say, 5,000 and your T-bill is just 1,000 Ghana cedis, they may not give you the loan. Yeah, so they will look at the value of that T-bill before. Yes, if it's in accordance with what they are looking for the loan, the terms and conditions, they will give you the loan. Yeah.
So there are certain investments that are termed as a low-risk investments. Comparing that to treasury bills, would you say treasury bills fall under that low-risk investment, or they are against, or they are on the other side of it?
Yeah, so T-bill also fall under the low-risk investment. But they are...
I like the but.
Yes. So, for example, fixed deposit is also a low-risk investment.
Yeah.
But this is issued by individual banks.
Okay.
Individual banks.
So fixed is not by the government?
Yes, it's not by the government. So what makes T-bill a bit different is that it is issued by the government and it is backed by the full faith and credit of the government.
Yeah.
And so if something happens, the government...
is responsible.
Yes.
Okay.
But the other CDs, like fixed deposits, mutual funds, these are regulated or are owned by the banks. And so if government take a decision, it can affect the banks.
Yeah.
And that can also affect your investments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the myths you've heard about treasury bills that we like, this doesn't even exist in our books? What are some of the myths you've heard?
Okay, so I would say T-bill, so mostly people say T-bill is a risk-free investment.
Okay.
Yes, a risk-free investment. We've heard that a
That's
lot.
not true.
But now we know that's not true. Now we know.
It's a loan, but not...
Is it a now thing?
Yes, I would say it's now.
It didn't used to be the case.
Yes, it used to be the case. But now, as economic condition keeps changing, new things also keeps coming up. And so now we can't say T-bill is a no-risk investment.
It's rather a low.
Yes. Okay, but you're also saying that you wouldn't also advise somebody to just keep their money at home instead of, just keeping their money at home. You just advise them to. So in that sense, since it's now, we are saying now, and we're also saying that don't also keep your money at home. What would be your best advice to someone out there in terms of the amount to, invest in T-bills? What would be your best advice? Let's say, okay, take 10,000 Ghana cedis. Let's be practical with the figures. Take 10,000 Ghana cedis and just go and do the 3 months one. Or take 20,000 and just go and do the 128 one. Or better still, take everything and go and do the 1 year one.
Great. So let me talk about diversification. So with investments, you don't need to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes.
So you need to diversify. So let's say if you have, 50,000 Ghana cedis, you can divide them into 3. So I'll put maybe 15,000 into T-bill. I'll put 15,000 into, maybe I'll do some fixed deposit somewhere. I'll put the remaining amount into, let's say, mutual funds. So make sure you are diversifying your investments.
Okay.
Diversifying your investment. So don't put, one mistake a lot of people do is, if they have 50,000 Ghana cedis, they'll put all into T-bill and... So if
something
we are talking about the default, if government defaulted on that, then...
You're in trouble.
So you need to diversify. Don't put all your money in.
So that's one
in
financial
T-bill.
advice. Do not, it's actually a don't. Don't ever put all your investments, whether it's treasury bills or anything, any other bills that you would like to invest in, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Jay?
I believe that this is not the only thing, but there are so many mistakes that people make when they are going in for treasury bills. Can you outline some of them?
Yes, so let me also talk about the fact that most people do not do their research on which brokerage firm or financial institutions I should buy my T-bill from. So before you buy your T-bill from any financial institution, make sure you have done your research. Very important. know the financial capability of that organization, know their leadership, knows their credit standing before you even purchase from them. And then another thing I'll talk about is, so we've talked about diversification. Now, risk. So you need to know your risk appetite before you decide to purchase T-bill. So if you're looking for someone who wants a high-risk investment, you're looking for higher profit, T-bill is not that investment for you. If you're someone who wants to conserve your capital, protect it, then you can go for T-bill. So understand what you want before you even decide to buy a T-bill.
So then somebody wants higher profit. You wouldn't recommend Treasury bills for the person?
No, T-bill is not for you. Yeah.
Ah.
And then why am I even going to
do you know that as I'm sitting here like this, I'm calculating some money that I want to go and put over there? But as you have said it right now,
yeah, saying like you're not going to get higher profit.
Yes, so if
it's just about conservation.
Yeah.
Just so you don't spend that money.
Just so you don't spend the money.
And you get something small while saving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, I mean, it's a good initiative because again, if you had that profit, if you had that money in your bank account, they will be taking charges from it.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is taking from your money. So in Treasury bill sounds like a better idea.
Yeah, and most I tell people, get rich for sure. It's better than get rich quick.
Do you understand? This one, you know, even though we have established over here that the way that things are going in the economy right now, let me say it that way, the way things are going right now, you're not too sure. Because, you know, times have changed. For young people, this is a big conversation. Because when I was younger, Treasury bills looked, this is like for old people. This is like a big thing. That's another myth I have heard, and which is what brought me to that conversation. With people that are looking at investing in something like this, but they're young people, they're students. What capacity do you think they should build before getting into Treasury bills?
Great. So it starts from earning. So you need to build your earning potentials. Okay. Because if you are not earning enough money, you can't really do investments. So I wrote a book, Journey to Financial Freedom.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, and in that book...
Did you bring one for us? No.
No, really not today. Yes, so I think I have some in my car, so I can, yes. So for you to build that potential, first you need to earn money. So I had a principle I called AC money principle. Okay. AC money principle. So you earn, you save, you invest.
AC.
AC.
ESI. AC money principle. You earn, you save, and you invest.
Yes.
You have to earn first, you save, and then you invest that savings.
Yes. AC. So young people, our first focus should be, how do we earn money? How do we build capacity? How do we build our competence so we can earn money? So I tell people money is a byproduct of the skills, the knowledge that you've acquired. So once you start earning money, you need to secure that money. You need to save. And then we shouldn't put our money in the bank and think we are okay. So your money must work hard as you are working. So you invest that money. So this is where you can decide to use some of your saved money to buy T-bill. You can use some to do fixed deposit, do mutual funds. So it starts from young people actually earning money and then moving into savings and then before they go into investment.
That's not what we're talking about today, but I'd like you to touch a little bit on the mutual fund conversation, just briefly, before we get into it.
So a mutual fund is a pool of resources. So let's say if you have huge amount of money, you can decide to invest in real estate. But now your money is not up to that amount to actually invest in real estate. So the bank will say, you put resources together. You take 10 CDs from this guy, take 20 CDs here, take 50 CDs here. We put all the resources together and invest on your behalf. So the bank will take the money and invest in real estate, invest in telecommunication business, invest in agribusiness, and pay you profit on that investment. So you buy a mutual fund from a bank, you have the opportunity to top up every month. It can be every day. And then the bank will be using that money to invest on your behalf. And then they will pay you back interest on that.
On that money, including your money if you want.
Yes.
Including your capital if you want. So that's mutual funds.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of education on financial building financial capacity and through treasury bills and understanding what treasury bills mean, because a lot of myth has been sparked about this entire conversation. So it was necessary to have this conversation. Now, some other things that I like us to find out would be that as we're growing as an economy, how much do you think reasonably, and because we're speaking to the young people, as they build their capacity, as they earn, they're saved, and they're putting into treasury bills or investing into treasury bills, how much do you think realistically a young person should put in there to be safe?
Yes, so as low as 500 Ghana cedis, you can start investing in T-bill. But then, before you invest, you need to have an investment objective. So know what I am investing for. If I'm buying T-bill, I should know what I'm buying the T-bill for. So if you want to, let's say, start a business and you need 6,000 Ghana cedis, that will inform how much you need to put into T-bill and the profit you get on that amount to be able to get that 6,000 to start the business. So it will differ. As almost I tell people, personal financial planning is personal. So look at your objective, look at what you want, and then decide to at least use a portion of that money to buy the T-bill. Yeah. So with just 500 Ghana cedis, you can start. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. You should be able to invest in treasury bill. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have anything for us?
No, I'm just,
Today, the man has destroyed your interest in treasury bills because I could see the disappointment.
You see,
I had hopes.
with the way things are going now, okay, you would definitely need. I mean, he's going to be my buddy from today.
The way you are keeping these financial people on this, I've been watching you.
No, it's very crucial. You get me? Because what we heard with regards to bonds, today we're not talking about bonds, but I know definitely our producers will make sure that we talk about bonds. And it's very crucial because especially we young ones, coming up. Because the bonds that were, the issue that came with the bonds, you realize that it affected the old people, rather than the young people. You get it? So
very few young people were in
very
there.
few young people, but majority were the old people, and these old people were young.
Yeah.
You get it? So the question here is, we don't want to repeat the same mistakes again. So we need to be very crucial when it comes to money. And these days, money is hard to come by. So when you get the money, you should know how to go about the money. So that's why we are getting into the TBs and whatnot. And
with the bond conversation, again, like I said, these are not the conversations we're having today, but it has become necessary to touch on them because we're giving people options to explore. Now, we have established that there were young people who, the haircut conversation was a very big one. Which, by the way, I heard some really funny things about it. I was like, no, not financial literacy is such a big thing. They asked a market woman what she understood by the head cast that is happening to people's bonds. And she was like, that's not what it is. They're not cutting people's heads. So because you're here, please expatiate a little bit on that particular conversation. What happened to the people's money? Why did that happen? And what was the effect of it?
Great. So, government gets money from the citizens. So, government will come out and say, borrow me some money so I can use for government projects. And so we call them the government treasuries. So we have the treasury bill, we have treasury notes, we have bonds, and all that. So bonds is more like government getting a loan from the people. And now government needs to use that loan to do its projects.
It's almost like the treasury bill.
Almost like the treasury bill.
Yes.
All right. But just a bigger one.
Bigger one.
Yes.
So it can be a 1 year bond, a 2 year bond. And then you get interest on that money, on that bond. So let's say if government issued a 10,000 bond note, people will go in there and buy from the government. More like you are lending your money to the government. And the government will use that for its projects. And because government does not make profit on that money, they use it for infrastructure development and all that. they have to make sure they are getting money somewhere to pay that money back. And now the government finances is not going well. There have been a big economic challenge. So now government was looking at, so where can I actually cut
my cost
so I can continue with my project and also make sure the people who lend me the money, I give them back their money. So now government went to, IMF and all that, and then the money was not coming. So now let me use these people as scapegoat. Let me do a haircut. So instead of you getting all your money, you won't get
ever.
And here was the scenario. So now if government was supposed to pay you, let's say, in May, and you want to go for your money in April, because the maturity period is not due, and because government said we are going to apply haircut, a lot of people were panicking, so a lot of people were going to the banks for the money. Now government says don't give them all the profit. So if you bought a 1-year bond note at, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis, and then at the end of the maturity period, you're going to get 500 Ghana cedis. Because now you want to go in for your money, government will not give you all the 500 Ghana cedis. They will reduce that amount.
Yes, and that is permanent.
Yes.
So that's what happened.
So government was trying to save everybody because some were going for their money. And if you go for your money now, what will happen to the others? So let's apply this principle. If someone is coming for his money now, let's apply a haircut. So it won't affect the people who decide to leave their money there. And then the market, there's always a downturn. And so when the market is not going well, definitely investment will come down. And so what I was telling people is you can still hold on to your investment. The market will pick up. Government will make amends. And you will get your money,
your full money
back.
back.
But if you want it now, the haircut will be applied.
It was out of fear and panic that people decided to do that. So today we touched on a bit of some other spheres of financial investments, and our bigger conversation was on treasury bills, the do's and don'ts. Please, any advice before we wrap up the conversation?
Great. So April is Financial Literacy Month.
Okay.
So my organization, Center for Financial Literacy, every year we do 2 campaign months. So April we do Financial Literacy Month. October we do Estate and Gifts Planning Awareness Month, which is a conversation I think some other time you can look into how people can write their will, do their succession plan and all that. So April we are going to schools. So we are doing school outreaches. We have been to most of the universities. We are going to marketplaces. So last week, Friday, we went to Tudu Market to engage about 600 market women. Okay. On the 10th, we are going to Kanesi Market Center. So what we are actually saying is that we want everyone to be in charge of their finances. Now we are strong. We can wake up every morning, go to work, come to TV and all that. But as you keep growing older, your strength will reduce. Life is uncertain. You can get sick, you can get ill, and you won't be able to work again. So every money that you get, make sure a percentage is going into savings and investing. So everyone should be intentional about it. Let's all practice sound financial planning. Let's save so that money can save us when we get an issue.
When you get an issue. Thank you so much, Peter Asare Nyarko, for joining us. He's a certified financial coach and an executive director at Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa. Thank you. That was very exciting and very entertaining. Did I say entertaining? Educative.
Educative.
For someone, I have seen that he has relegated.
For treasury bills. Oh, no.
But you'll be fine.
No. Not at all. Not about that. Not about that. But
you regain confidence back in this government. Don't worry. We trust God. Please continue.
All right. For over a year, Mx24 has been partnering with local NGOs to raise funds for charitable causes that improve communities and change lives. As a social impact fundraising platform, we are amplifying our call for change and impact with amazing prizes to be won after making your donations. Donate to support weekly cleanups at the Labadi Beach or Habines Mobile Shelter for the less privileged for a chance to win a 2-night luxury stay at Kempinski Hotel in Accra. Donate to renovate the NICU and maternity wards at Vapo Medical Center or Cornerstone Primary School for a chance to win a 2-night luxury stay at the Bridgeview Resort in Akosombo. Donate to the AfroFuture Scholarship Fund or to renovate Anyanya JHS for the chance to win a 2-night luxury stay at Moving Pink Ambassador Hotel. Go ahead and visit maiko.com and follow the easy steps to donate for your chance to win our prizes. Maiko is registered with the Ghana National Lottery Authority, Maiko empowering society to dream big. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
The Crossed Out tour is back on this year, and even more exciting, we've already made stops at high schools across the country, with more to come each month till October 2024. Our message is very simple. Set a reminder, get screened, and cross it out. We are crossing out the risk, fear, and stigma attached to breast cancer. We're coming to a high school near you to impact, inspire, and of course, raise awareness amongst our young ladies. Look out for impactful pep talks, educational sessions, and breast cancer awareness and exciting performances from some of your favorite artists. This month, we are visiting St. Mary's today. Today, we're going to St. Mary's. So like we said earlier, if you're just joining us and you're wondering what kind of t-shirt we are wearing, this is Mx24, right? And this is Cross It Out. We're going to Mary's today, right after the show, to give that very educative conversation and pep talk on the breast cancer awareness. After that, we're going straight to Krobo Girls on the 26th of April, 2024. Cross It Out 2024 is brought to you by Flora Tissues, Top Choco, and YFM. For further enquiries on partnership, sponsorship, or more, reach out to us on 059-229-2746. That's 059-229-2746. Or visit mx24.app/crossitout. mx24.app/cross it out. So like we said earlier, or like I said earlier, or like we've been saying throughout the entire show, I'm super excited because today we get to meet young people who are enthused about getting to know about this conversation, breast cancer awareness. We are making sure that before we end 2024, we have crossed the stigma out, we've crossed the fear out, and of course, we've crossed the risk out as well. And that is all on breast cancer awareness.
All right, so up next, we're plugging in. We'll be right back.